The story starts with a guy named Seiichi getting bullied by his classmates. Suddenly they all hear God's voice on their school speaker. God tells them that he's going to teleport everyone to another world. And he asks them to form groups. Everyone forms groups. God gives all of them the same skills. Seiichi asks them to make him part of their group. But they make fun of Seiichi for his weak skill. God teleports everyone to another world. Seiichi stands alone in the classroom. So God makes an exception and gives Seiichi extra skills to survive. Seiichi lands on another world. Seiichi struggles in the forest alone. He sees a fruit of evolution and eats the fruit. After eating the fruit he gains few skills. A bunch of monkeys jump on Seiichi's back. Seiichi follows the monkey and sees the monkeys making healing potions out of the evolution fruit. He steals the fruits and the potions from the monkeys. On the other side, besides the bullies, Seiichi's friends get worried about him. Seiichi gets leveled up by eating the evolution fruit. Suddenly a monkey attacks Seiichi. Seiichi gets beaten by the monkey. After a while Seiichi kills the monkey and gains the monkey's skills. Seiichi gets leveled up again and gets slim by the power. After that Seiichi fights a forest wolf, kills the wolf, and gains the wolf's skills. The monkey's team surrounds Seiichi. The leader of the monkey's group shows up. Seiichi fights the monkey leader. The gorilla beats up Seiichi. Seiichi uses his smell skill to defeat the gorilla. But the gorilla falls in love with Seiichi and takes him with her. The gorilla asks Seiichi to marry him. He refuses. She gives him food for his hunger. The gorilla's name is Saria. Seiichi and Saria go fishing, and a huge spider shows up. But Saria defends Seiichi. Saria the gorilla leaves Seiichi for the monkey meeting. Seiichi's classmates ask the royal guard to make them fight the monsters. But the royal guard refuses. Seiichi escapes from the gorilla. The gorilla follows Seiichi. He runs towards a cave, and finds a huge door inside the cave. He enters and sees a talking skeleton. The skeleton tries to kill Seiichi, but Saria the gorilla gets stabbed by the skeleton. Seiichi fights the skeleton. After a long fight Seiichi defeats the skeleton. Suddenly Saria the gorilla transforms into a human girl. Seiichi reads the backstory of the skeleton. Seiichi gets leveled up again. Seiichi tells Saria that he's planning on leaving the forest. Saria tells Seiichi that she will follow him wherever he goes. Suddenly the dungeon administrator shows up there. After the talk with the dungeon administrator, Seiichi and Saria leave the forest. On their way to the town, Seiichi runs into a slime. Seiichi kills the slime and gains powers. Seiichi gets a coat and Saria gets boots to wear. They see the town. They reach the town. The town guard asks Seiichi for his identification. He lies to him that he lost on the way to the town. The town guard asks Seiichi to place his hand on the magic crystal ball. The crystal ball shows if they are lying. Seiichi places his hand and the crystal ball shows that he's telling the truth. Saria places her hand and she's also good. They enter the town and go straight to the adventurer guild to register their name and ask them to create ID for them. There they meet a girl named Artoria. Artoria is an A-rank adventurer. The guild master tells Artoria to make them join her and form a party. She accepts it. They go to take quests. First they go to an orphanage and leave Saria to take care of the children. After that Artoria saves a kid from falling logs. And then Artoria and Seiichi go to an old building. Seiichi places his hand on the wall, and the building collapses on him. Artoria gets frustrated and searches for Seiichi. He gets up. She gets angry with him. After that they go to the guild. Artoria gives Seiichi and Saria a place to stay. The next day, Seiichi, Saria and Artoria go to collect herbs and medicine from the forest. Seiichi collects mushrooms but not the medicines. Artoria tells Seiichi to collect the medicines. He goes inside the forest again, and hears a voice. He reaches the voice and hears 3 demons talking about how they place teleportation magic in the forest. Seiichi doesn't care about that, and decides to ask them about the medicine. The demon gets scared and calls a bigger demon. Seiichi breaks the demon's weapon. They all get scared and runs away. After that Seiichi brings more mushrooms to Artoria. She gives him her medicines. And we see the demons talking to their demon leader, and telling her that the teleportation magic will take the humans to the Black Dragon. Seiichi meets the town's guard again. He is a friend of Artoria. The three go to hunt monsters. Slim shows up there. Seiichi goes for an attack, but the slime gets teleported. Artoria places her leg on the teleportation magic. Seiichi and Saria grabs Artoria, and they all get teleported to the Black Dragon's dungeon. Artoria gives Seiichi a small piece of magic stone. The stone glows when their life is in danger. Suddenly a huge wall comes in between Artoria and Seiichi. Saria is with Seiichi. Seiichi tries to break the wall, but he couldn't. Artoria fights a mummy monster and defeats it. Seiichi and Saria find a treasure box and leave the box. The box tells them to open the box, but Seiichi refuses to open the box. The box attacks Seiichi. Seiichi defeats the box with his water magic. Seiichi sees the magic stone glowing and senses that Artoria is in danger. Artoria goes to the Black Dragon. Artoria fights the Black Dragon and gets beaten by the dragon. She uses her magic to defeat the Black Dragon, but gets defeated by the Black Dragon. The Black Dragon shoots fire on her. Seiichi comes in and blocks the fire. Seiichi fights the Black Dragon God and struggles the most. Eventually he defeats the Black Dragon God and obtains the power of space magic and uses it to bring his friends back to the guild. Artoria is shocked that Seiichi risked his life to save her, and she feels guilty for putting herself in danger. She tells him how she came to be known as unlucky. She was born with 2 million unlucky points, which brought bad luck to everyone she met. Fortunately, Seiichi gives her a special ring he found in the dungeon. Although the ring breaks the curse, Artoria thinks that Seiichi proposed, and she runs away in shame. Meanwhile, news of the Black Dragon God's death reaches the remaining Demon King's army executives, and they fear that someone is trying to reignite the war between humans and demons. Following the advice of Gassel and Eris, Seiichi heads to the Tilbert Royal Library in search of information about his classmates. When that fails, he reads books on magic and accidentally increases his magical power. He then goes to a nearby cafe for dinner and strikes up a conversation with the manager, Nord, and a civilian named Rans. He admits that he feels guilty for just putting Artoria in an awkward position for her, and Nord and Rans advise Seiichi to be honest with her and make things right with her. Meanwhile, Artoria is encouraged by her friend Adriana to confess her feelings for Seiichi. Reunited, Artoria admits that she loves Seiichi, but he is already in love with Saria, and Saria agrees to share Seiichi with Artoria, a decision that is unanimous among friends. Approve. Seiichi has become an A-class adventurer and decides to buy a horse on Gussel's advice. In the stable, he finds a temperamental female donkey named Lulyun and agrees to buy it. After buying food for Lulyun, Seiichi finds a young artist named Mei, who is discussing with her friend Clay about entering the Royal Art Competition, which is held a month after the Royal Competition. Mei is unsure if she should enter the tournament, so Seiichi offers a deal. If he wins the Royal Competition, Mei will enter the art competition. She agrees, but on the day of the competition, Lulyun feels bad because she didn't eat a proper breakfast before the ace. Fortunately, Seiichi feeds her some of his evolution fruits, allowing her to win first place. However, after the competition, Lulyun evolves into a human form thanks to the fruits of evolution given to her by Seiichi. The winner of the royal competition, Seiichi is taken to Archel, the royal castle of Wimberg, where he meets Lise Blaze, captain of the Wimberg Valkyries. She invites Seiichi to a practice game to test his skills. He wins the match, and she announces that she is his student. Suddenly the king of Wimberg is attacked by an assassin, and the Valkyries move to capture the assassin. Seiichi uses his magic to discover that the assassin is just a child. Meanwhile, Seiichi's classmates are transferred to Barbator Academy of Magic, and the ruling council of the Demon Nation, led by the Demon Lord's daughter Lucia, agrees to negotiate peace with Wimberg, much to the dismay of Lucia's advisor, Kraze, who is pushing war against humans. Seiichi stops the assassin at the castle's training ground and easily captures her. He identifies the assassin as Zariga Calmeria and leaves her to be interrogated by the Valkyries. However, the king is still in critical condition due to Ariga's curse, and Seiichi can only save his life by creating his healing spell. She also discovers that the king is Franz, the man who earlier gave him advice on how to solve his romantic problems with Artoria. As compensation, Franz allows Seiichi to use the castle to practice his fighting and magic skills. Meanwhile, Zakia, an old soldier who instructs Seiichi's classmates in combat, questions the Emperor's decision to send them to Barbator Magic Academy, and is horrified to learn that Helio, a mage employed by the Emperor, has put bracelets on the students to stop them. becoming a threat to the kingdom. Suddenly, an assassin tries to kill the king, forcing Zakia to chase after him. Seiichi and Lise watch Oliga being interrogated by Lorna, one of Lise's Valkyries. They stop the interrogation when they discover that Oliga has a slave collar that forces her to do the Imperial Empire's bidding, and Seiichi is able to free her from the collar by creating his own release spell. Lise is forced to investigate monstrous activity near the borders of Wimberg, but asks Seiichi to take care of Ranz in her absence. Meanwhile, Zakia meets the man who tried to assassinate the Emperor, the archer Xian. He was disgusted by the death of the demon woman he loved. Xian wanted revenge on the Imperial Empire for mercilessly discriminating against demons. Xian escapes, and Zakia is forced to reevaluate his loyalty to the kingdom. Rachel is visited by Barnabas, a legendary sorcerer who was Ranz's mentor. He tells Ranz about the students who have just transferred to his school, Barbator Academy of Magic, which makes Seiichi realize that these new students are his classmates from Japan. Suddenly, a soldier informs Ranz that an army of monsters has begun an attack on Tilburg. Lise and her Valkyries joined an army that was led by Black Paladin, Wimberg's best soldiers, to fight the monsters on Wimberg's borders, leaving them unable to help protect Tilburg. The remaining soldiers of Wimberg and the local adventurers guild join forces to defend Tilburg and hold the line against the first wave of monsters. Unfortunately, as reinforcements arrive for the monster army, the defenders have no escape route. Seiichi casts an offensive spell called Judgment that destroys the enemy army, while leaving Tilburg's defenders unharmed. Impressed by Seiichi's talent, Barnabas congratulates him on saving the city, and offers him a teaching position in Barbator, which Seiichi accepts on the condition that he wait until Lise and her Valkyries return to Tilburg to ensure Ranz's safety. While Lise returns to Tilburg, Seiichi and his friends leave for Barbator, but promise to return. Meanwhile, Kraze is disappointed to learn that the monster army did not destroy Tilburg. This failure earns him the wrath of the Demon Lord, who hoped to use the negative emotions released by the destruction of the city to revive himself. However, the Demon Lord sees his failure as only a temporary setback, and vows to find another way to regain his power. Subscribe for more videos.